co-developed with Leica 4 extremely strong sensors, the primary with variable aperture, and an insane photography kit, a DSLR style build. This is the Xiaomi 13 Ultra, also confirmed to be launching internationally soon. Guys, these days there's a lot of consumer fatigue with phone launches. I mean, why wouldn't there be? After all, almost every week we have a new flagship phone launching. That said, I still think the Xiaomi 13 Ultra has managed to do enough to stand out, has managed to do enough to warrant your attention. Now, how they've managed to do it, as per me, is with the optics. And they've kind of gone against the grain. At a time where every blown out highlight, every dark shadow is seen and criticized as a negative in images, Xiaomi says enough with all that. Shadows and highlights are part of it. We aren't going to overprocess our images. And that's basically what they've been working with Leica on, shooting hyper-realistic images that capture the scene as you see it. And as we can see from the samples they've shared, it's kind of reflected this. Now what you're seeing here is a set from Twitter user Ice Universe. These images have been taken by the Xiaomi 13 Ultra and the S23 Ultra respectively. See how the bark of the tree on the image shot by the Xiaomi doesn't have that over sharpening you see with the S23 Ultra? Now that's kind of what they're doing. Even here, in this instance, see how the shadows are kept more real than on the image from the S23 Ultra? And it's not just on well-lit images, they're also doing the same thing under low light. Xiaomi seems happy to leave the dark parts of the image dark, let night be night. Now this, in my humble opinion, is an interesting take on things, because ever since the first Pixel, we're all used to seeing night shots being brighter than they actually should be. Will this trend, will this take of Xiaomi's be successful? Honestly, I'm not sure, but like I said, it sure is interesting. Now, it's not like they don't have the hardware chops here, because they've gone with the Sony IMX989 sensor, the same one we've seen on the likes of the 13 Pro, the Vivo X90 Pro, or the Oppo Find X6 Pro. This is a 1-inch 50 megapixel Sony sensor, the largest on any smartphone right now. And Xiaomi also kept reminding us that they co-developed it with Sony last year for their 12S Ultra. Now, I've had a lot of experience with the sensor on all the phones that I just mentioned, and that is why one of the samples they showed really intrigued me. The images you're seeing now, they were taken with my Find X6 Pro, and they are awesome, right? There's a lot of detail, there's a lot of natural bokeh, the shallow depth of field, but there is one con with a sensor like this. The shutter response isn't instant. So for every shot like this, I also end up with a bunch of shots like this. Moving shooting subjects, especially pets or kids, it's been pretty hard on every phone I've used with this IMX989 1-inch sensor. And that is where this shot caught my attention. A couple running, but still captured quite nicely, time frozen without any motion blur. And I also came across this clip on Twitter showing the Xiaomi 13 Ultra snapping away rapidly. As you can see, this wasn't something I was able to recreate with my Find X6 Pro. Anyways, the sensor here, it's been paired with a variable aperture lens, which is another highlight. This one can switch between f1.9 and f4. And the other three sensors, now remember how with the Find X6 Pro, we had all primary cameras. The Find X6 Pro used IMX890 for its secondaries, a 1x1.56 inch sensor. Well, Xiaomi's gone for the IMX858. These are 1x2.5 inch sensors. Now, that really doesn't seem right, at least initially looking at the spec sheet. Smaller sensors than the competition? Well, like every brand making questionable decisions, Xiaomi had an explanation for this. At least digging around, I found this from Lowtone, the Xiaomi founder. He claims that this is the only other Sony sensor apart from the 989 that the primary uses to have support for MCSS or multi-camera synchronization system, LN2 low noise mode, etc. Now, I'm not sure if it's just marketing speak to justify using a weaker sensor than the competition, or if there's actually a legitimate reason here. I really wish I would still have my Find X6 Pro when I get my hands on the 13 Ultra, but sadly I won't. So I won't be able to personally test out how they compare, but Ben's Gadget Reviews already has a full comparison up. If you were curious just like me and you wanted to check, you wanted more information on this, I'll leave a link to his video in the description below to check it out. Also interesting are the lenses these sensors have been paired with. Typically, the ultra-wides and the telephotos we see on phones these days, they are paired with f2.2 or f2.4 lenses. But here, both the ultra-wide and the 3.2x telephoto, they're paired with f1.8 lenses, so really fast lenses, and even the 5x telephoto is paired with an f3 aperture lens, which is faster than what you regularly see on a periscope 5x telephoto. So it seems like they have paid a lot of attention to the optics, and the samples they showed did seem good. Do note that the primary and the pair of telephoto shooters, all three have optical image stabilization. Now, barring this, it's your typical flagship, so we get a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, of course, up to 16 gigs of LPDDR5X RAM, up to a terabyte of storage UFS 4.0, and a high refresh display. This time, Xiaomi's gone for an AMOLED panel from TCL. This is a C7 panel, so they're also trying to market the panel's nomenclatures like Samsung's been doing for the past few generations. Now, the selling point here is that it's got a peak brightness of 2600 nits, beating out the Find X6 Pro's 2500, making this the brightest panel on a smartphone today. It also has LTPO support and can vary refresh between 1 to 120 Hz. It supports Dolby Vision, HDR10+. It's a 6.73-inch Quad HD Plus panel, which happens to be covered by Gorilla Glass Victus. Xiaomi also claimed they're using liquid cooling this time and showed sustained performance and temps being lower than that of the Find X6 Pro, which isn't really saying much given the Find X6 Pro does throttle quite a bit. Now, the build, it does look interesting. Instead of just the camera protruding to the back, they seem to have shaped the entire top to kind of resemble a Leica camera. It looks interesting. Can't wait to see how it actually holds up when I get my hands on it and hold it in hand and use it. Xiaomi offers an interesting but expensive accessory for this phone, the photography kit. There are a few things here. First, a case, and then this handle that you slide the phone into and lock in place. This kind of makes the phone look more like a DSLR now, more like a Leica camera. Now, when you can't add a lens or anything, there is a lens cap to cover the camera array if you don't want it exposed. And there's also a 67mm thread add-on included. This can let you, say, add an ND filter if that's what you want. Also, the handle has a two-stage shutter key and zoom controls, a zoom dial. So half press to focus, full press to shoot, hit the zoom dial to switch between different focal lengths, hold it lightly to do smooth zooms. Given this phone supports 8K video on all its sensors, I can see this being useful. And for the paranoid among us, there's also a lanyard included. Now, this photography kit is gonna set you back 799 RMB initially, that's about $115 or 9,500 rupees. But the first batch did sell out very quick. The price now goes up to 999 RMB, $140 or 12,000 Indian rupees approximately. Not sure if this one's launching globally. So what else? We have an IP68 water and dust resistance rating. The sides are metal. The phone's available in 3 colors, black, white and olive green, though the white is expected to be China only. There's support for stereo speakers. And oh yeah, Xiaomi's packed in a 5000 mAh battery. The support for 90-watt charging with a 90-watt charger included in the box. This can do 0 to 50 in 11 minutes, a full charge in about 30. They've also included support for 50 watts wireless charging, which should get you a full charge in about 45 minutes. Also, finally, Xiaomi's disgusting obsession with USB 2.0 seems to be over, because this phone, for this, they've switched to USB 3.2. About freaking time, right? And now for the price. This phone starts at the same price as the 12S Ultra did last year, but instead comes in a better configuration. So the base is 8256 this time. 5999 RMB is what they're asking, which converts to $870 or 72,000 Indian rupees approximately, which is the exact same price as the Oppo Find X6 Pro. Explains why they kept comparing it to that phone, right? So anyways, that's the Xiaomi 13 Ultra. I should be getting my hands on this phone next week. If you have any questions you'd like for me to address in the unboxing, leave a comment below and I will try to get it done. Also guys, I put a lot of time and effort into this video, so if you found it informative, do hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, consider hitting that bell icon to make sure you don't miss out on my future content. Talking about future content, let me know if you'd like to see a similar video for the Xiaomi Pad 6 series and the Mi Band 8 that just got launched at the same event. So I guess that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think of the Xiaomi 13 Ultra. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.